Hi there everyone, welcome to my channel. You're with Krista here at the Radical Angel. This is a weekly reading for the sign of Leo for the week of April 30th to May 6th. I do have allergies that appeared out of nowhere, so forgive me if I sound really stuffy and sick. I'm not really sick, but my allergies are really weird, so if I sound fuzzy, that's why. So anyway, please forgive me for that. I'm going to be using the same decks I did last time, but for the central spread I'll be using the Healing with the Angels Oracle deck, just because I really feel strongly this past week that all of the signs have a great deal of healing to manifest, particularly at the end of the Taurus in retrograde. Taurus goes direct on May 3rd, so I'm going to be concentrating on some healing energies. And for additional guidance, we'll be using the Medicine Card Tarot and the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I'll be doing another 3-card spread though, Leo. We'll have a central issue, 2 clarifiers, and the bottom of the deck for general energy for the week. So without further ado, look for general messages for Sun, Moon, and Rising Leos. Information about me and how to contact me are in the description box, as well as a link to Always Astrology. So if you don't know your moon and rising sign, for example, plug in your information there. If for any reason Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising doesn't appeal to you or resonate, check out your other readings for your moon and rising and see if those resonate better. But I do hope that this resonates for you, my dear Leos. So I wish for Leo all success, joy, and wellness. I invoke spirits of love, light, and beauty. I call upon Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. I ask Gaia to please bless this reading for Leo. Wow, your cards flew out today, Leo. Beautiful. No small beans here. A lot is manifesting in the physical world for you after you having done a great deal of contemplation and also release of resistance, okay? Release of resistance to outcomes or to processes or even how will it happens, that type of thing. It looks like, excuse me, after having let go of the need to control outcomes, it looks like divine timing being your central card will be the greatest gift that you'll get from letting go of the the need to control an outcome. And the reason I say that as well is because of the general energy for the week is trust. So if you already haven't gotten to this position where you're able to set aside the need for control, to be in charge of something that you can't possibly be in charge of. I mean, you can only do so much without letting go of the timing, right? The way that something is divinely timed. And it looks here as though you have a great deal of trust in the process of divine timing. And that this trust will lead you to your greatest and highest accomplishments and good. This is the sister card in the traditional tarot to the card Temperance. So there's a great deal of balance, letting things be, resting, challenges being met with compassion and faith as opposed to anger and impatience. So I think this week for you, Leo, the more patient you are with yourself and others, the more pleased you'll be with the outcome. Because to the right and to the left of divine timing are the cards answered prayer and miracles. So if you've been pushing yourself to get to the bottom of something, or you don't know which way to turn, I will suggest this week, Leo, that you release it all. Release all doubt, stress, fear, a need to control outcomes. Completely abandon those processes regarding this issue this week. Wherever in a general sense you've released the sense of timing and accomplishment in terms of prayers and miracles. This is actually quite beautiful, the divine timing occurring as an answered prayer, as a miracle, is the rejection of control. And it could be that the rejection of control is the answered prayer, right? That the divine timing, that this process, the answered prayer and the miracles, is because the divine timing has been allowed to exist and not forced to exist. All right, so let's look at the central card a little bit more detail. We have this sweet little cherub who's taking aim for something beyond him or herself. And divine timing means that every part of getting to that next level or getting to your outcome or that target is part of a process, right? You might have even had to undergo training. You might have had to pay attention, learn how to do something. You might need to let go of what you thought was working in order to hit an aim or a target. But everything about that target has to do with what you've been doing up until now. And the difference here is that everything you've been doing up until now did take action, it did take control. But the process of once this arrow in the image, for example, leaves your hands and is on its way to reach the target, that's out, literally out of your hands, right? And that is total devotion to letting go. So if you can release all fear and doubt this week and trust that what is right for you will occur for you, and to have faith in that and know that you're doing everything in your power positively to bring this about. There are things, once that arrow, for example, is out of your hands, you have to let go of what happens to that arrow, right? Or what happens to how, once you've projected something, you have to let go of how that acts in the world. Your only role in that is to be trusting and positive and honest and loving. Another way to look at this is to say, because of miracles and because of an answered prayer, you are able to assess divine timing or are able to allow, if I haven't already said that. But these are all really intimately involved with one another regarding the answered prayer, for example, is literally saying you have to have focused on something, right? You had to have asked for something or believed something, prayed for something or yearned for something or made, a vision board, as a prayer, as an intention, in order to have it answered. So you have to be really cognizant of what you're saying and thinking so that it is answered and it is what you truly want. I'm seeing so much release here, and primarily through the imagery of the cherub with the arrow. Really, truly, there's this sense of perhaps letting chips fall where they may, while trusting in the highest good, trusting that you're protected and secure. I think as long as you're being honest with yourself about who you are and what you want and what you're willing to give and why you're doing things, or another way to frame that is what you do them for. The answered prayer, like I mentioned, could be the divine timing. It could be the prayer was, let me release this need to control outcomes, or be everything to everyone, or even to be liked, right? So many of us have this, if I want to be authentic with myself, if I want to be an authentic person, tell the truth, my truth, and speak truth to power, that could upset people, right? That's a scary place for many people when it comes to telling you the truth. And not all of us are willing to tell the truth because we put more stock or value in what people think of us, right? Including, it's not even an abnormal or weird thing. I'm not saying it's weird. I'm just saying many of us, by and large, put more value in being liked and accepted, even when the truth needs to be spoken. But if one occurs over the other this week, I'm seeing that it's more important to tell the truth. I think if you do something from the heart, whether it's telling the truth or being authentic or helping yourself or someone else through something, if you're doing it from an authentic place, from a truthful, honest, compassionate, loving place, I don't think you can be wrong. I think if you upset someone with the truth, or alternately you're upset by the truth, I think that only occurs because something has been shattered. And if it's been shattered, it wasn't built on solid ground to begin with, or it needed to go. So that could be another way to frame an answered prayer. Could be, well, this was really difficult for me, but I told someone the truth about how I felt or how I saw something or whatever. And it turns out everyone's better off, or we're all happier for it, or they were feeling that and they didn't know how to express it with me. And here I am teaching someone else, or they're teaching me how to speak truth to power and to put more stock or value into telling the truth, or in being authentic, than I did in being accepted and liked. This could even speak to new or different peer groups, if that is indeed what occurs after this projection or acting or being authentic. So to the left of divine timing is, wow, it's bright. Sorry about that. Miracles. And she has a miracle. You can see sort of landing on her finger as she holds her hand up, and she's really, taken with it. She's really awestruck. She's really delighted by it. And I think this is where the trust card will come in as well. I think if you trust that this is for the highest good and beneficial to all in the long run, then you'll see the results of this. And I think it's kind of like a little fairy that lands on her finger. So in a really interesting way, this could be the same thing. The miracle could be the answered prayer. The answered prayer could be the miracle. They could be the same thing. The miracle could be divine timing. The letting go could lead to the miracle. I think if you're involved with or interested in a sense of authenticity this week, you will see this come to fruition for yourself, Leo, and you'll be really pleased with what has come about. Really interesting. This is really cool. I haven't seen this selection of cards together. And I don't think it's a small matter. Again, these are general readings, so in a general sense, whatever is biggest or hypest or most real in your world this week, Leo, whatever that is for you, is what this is going to touch on for you. But it won't be small beans. Like, it'll be a big deal. And it could even be something that is a conclusion or something that is the closing of one door and the opening of another. This could be a whole new route for you. But it does involve divine timing. So a great deal of divine timing, no matter what our sign, is letting go. Letting go of what people think of us. Letting go of expectations. Letting go of I'm used to this, I'm comfortable here, I belong here. This could be a higher calling for you. This is definitely something that not everyone, or maybe perhaps even not anyone else, understands about you this week, or that you've even been in communication with other people about. Something very unique to you. So interesting for the sign of Leo that we have the mountain lion as an additional message. Mountain lion's keyword is leadership. Again, with the answered prayer, the miracle, the trust, you, and in relation to telling the truth or being authentic, reevaluating value systems, in your leadership role, two things could happen here. One, that you become a leader of many, that people see your path or your commitment or the work you've done or the steps you've taken to get to this place, this revelation for yourself, as a state of attraction. They're going to be attracted to this and come to you for answers or even healing or advice. Not as unlikely that you're turning to someone else for leadership this week, that this is definitely you. However, another element of leadership that we tend to forget sometimes when we think of role models or leaders or teachers are that it can be a lonely place. It can be not only incredibly spiritually significant for yourself to be here, but that it could be a little bit isolating to be on top of something or aware of something, even of your own authenticity or your own truth, or seeing the world in a specific way and speaking truth to power about that, not worrying about being liked so much. But the focus, especially as a Leo, on acting as a leader here, I think will behoove you in terms of strength, in terms of personal power. I don't think you're afraid this week, Leo, to step out of your comfort zone and to be seen as someone maybe not as cuddly and lovely, lovey, everyone's best friend type thing. I think you might be stepping out of a little bit of a comfort zone this week if you are to take on a leadership role. And I think this week you're comfortable enough to do that. So as much joy as it will bring you and freedom as it will bring you, and perhaps even individuals turning to you for advice or help, you could feel a little bit lonely there. So I wouldn't say it's a warning, it's just a little bit of a, if you do feel any of that this week, it's not unheard of or unlikely in a leadership position. And it doesn't mean that you need to be alone either. But everything has its price, and certainly fitting in and going along to get along has its price, doesn't it? But there is a different price for being authentic and telling the truth. And it appears as though your value systems, you trust that that's more important this week for you, Leo, perhaps even for the long term. And I hope it is. We need more authentic, honest people. Now more than ever. So thank you for your hard work. This is beautiful at the end of the reading as well, Leo, to suggest that you come to the edge. Whatever you thought was impossible or unavailable to you, or that you didn't belong to, or even that you couldn't do, again, with the being liked or accepted, this is encouraging you to step away from your comfort zone. Come to the edge of what you were comfortable and content and already doing, and find a way, if you already haven't this week, to use this energy, the maybe a little bit of a fringe energy, maybe a little bit of a dancing energy. I don't mean, sure, physically, but in terms of when we think of energy, when we think of spirit, there's still spirit, there's hovering spirit, there's healing spirit, but there's also energetic, soulful, dancing, celebratory energy. And you can see her dancing at the edge of that stone with hearts everywhere. So she is filled with love. And I think you, no matter what you do, project or release or become part of or allow yourself this week, really is authentically loving. And Leo, love is the most powerful, powerful essence that there is ever. Love is all that there really is. So this is incredibly powerful for you to come to this place, to come to the edge from a place of love for yourself, for the world, even future generations. But perhaps even more important this week, for a sense of authenticity. Truly owning who you are and being comfortable and confident in who you are. And being able to let go of who doesn't like that or what they think of that. To be secure in that. So I really hope this resonated with you this week. Leo, please let me know what you think of the reading in the comments if you like. And do join me next week for your next weekly reading. I hope you have a beautiful week for yourself. Take good care. See you next time.